What's going on? Good morning. We back. Another episode, the Man and Man podcast. Your boy AB here. My guy D Butt, man. He's gonna be joining in soon. It's Monday, November 27th. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I had a really relaxing weekend, chill weekend, ate really good. So again, hopefully everybody was able to, touch the family and be thankful for whatever you're thankful for. Obviously, it's a lot to be thankful for. But again, man, we back here another good Monday to talk some sports with the Man family, man. We had a good day yesterday. Some good football, some good games. Sunday, sure, we had a Black Friday game, and then obviously we had a Thursday game as well. So, we're going to touch on those. I think this was my first week, man. My first week this year that my picks were pretty solid. I know my money line only lost one game, Cleveland and Denver. And obviously we're going to talk about Denver. They playing some really good ball these last couple of weeks. But yeah, as always, get in those comment sections. Let us know what you're thinking, your thoughts, your emotions, how's your team doing, all of that good stuff. But again, man, as always, we happy to be here. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, we talking.
You are now tuned in to the Man podcast. Starring Darius Butler.
They don't wanna see us. Man.
And
They don't
Antoine
know how to
Bethea.
beat us. Man.
Now we talking. Presented by FanDuel. Man to man.
What's going on? We back. What's good? Again, November 27th. A very, very, very good Monday. Happy Monday. As I was talking about before we put the intro on, man, a lot of good games yesterday. A lot of quality games. I think we're gonna start with Thursday's game. Thursday's games. Thanksgiving Day. Always have some good games. We started off with the Green Bay, Detroit. That's a classic one. Typically on Detroit's always playing on Thanksgiving Day. I know I picked Detroit here, man. Picked Detroit here. Thought they would be able to get it done, but just like the previous week, man, they came out flat. And Green Bay, J Love, man, he's been playing some really good ball. It came out the gate. Christian Watson, 50, I think it was like a 53-yard reception that they was able to connect on. But Detroit, a lot of times, they came to this game, I think they were 8-2. And a lot of times when you're playing, good ball where your record is what it is. And like I said, they were 8-2, sitting high up there in the NFC. A lot of times you can have these type of lulls in the middle of the season. No excuses, but at times it can happen. And obviously, regardless of what the records are, these type of matchups, you can always throw those records out of the window. Divisional matchups, obviously Thanksgiving. So everybody knows how much, these games mean to one another. But again, a step back for the Detroit Lions. I don't think it's anything that to be too concerned about right now. Obviously, the play you can just for Detroit, it's you kind of know what Green Bay is at this point. You have Christian Watson; he's going to be your deep threat. Jones, he was out. You got Dillon. You know what type of runner he is. And then you have your Swiss Army knife receivers that, get it done on jet sweeps and things of that nature. So I don't know why coming into this game, Detroit will allow some of the things to happen as they did. But you always know, football is football. But Green Bay was able to get a big one against a very, very good Detroit Lions team. Again, J Love, it looks like he's getting more comfortable. Obviously, we know it's going to take take some snaps for him to really get feeling good in that offense and being comfortable in that offense. But week in and week out, he shows you glimpses that he could potentially be the quarterback for the future for the Green Bay Packers. So again, a good win for them, a big win, a win that they needed, not only for the season but in the division as well. The next game, man, the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. Again, this is another divisional matchup. Coming into this game, I thought that even regardless of other records, I'm thinking throw the records out the window. I know Dallas Cowboys, they've been playing fairly well. Dak Prescott, for a lot of the shit that we give him, he's been playing really well. The defense is balling. The Dallas Cowboys just playing really good ball. On the flip side, the Washington Commanders, it's ugly. Obviously, they fired the DC Del Rio, and also I think it was their DB coach, I believe. A lot of people talking about, Ron Rivera, is he on the hot seat? He says he doesn't, he's not worried about his job. I mean, I get it. Shit, you're gonna have to pay him anyway. But the Washington Commanders do not look good, and you've seen earlier in the season where there were a lot of their players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, were up for discussion, right? And that's kind of writing on the wall that with the new management coming in, new ownership, they're trying to get the right pieces to the puzzle. And obviously, okay, we got some assets that we can trade off and potentially get some trade picks so we can get some young talent in there and just try to change that culture in the building. But the Washington Commanders, man, unfortunately, especially on the wide outside, man, they have weapons. They have weapons on the outside. Actually, some decent running backs. Hal, he's kind of off and on, but he at times he try to keep his team in the game. But they got punished, man. Got punished by the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys is out there just having a good time. That's what it's about. Like as we mentioned, Dak Prescott playing some really good ball, pushing the ball down the field. The run game is picking up. CeeDee Lamb is doing some good stuff on the outside. So all around, and you can't not talk about the Dallas Cowboys and not talk about D Bland out there on the corner. Again, 5 pick sixes this year, and that is an NFL record, man. Coming into his second year, taking advantage of his opportunities. As we talk about that all the time here on the pod, is taking advantage of the opportunities that you're given, right? Trayvon Diggs gets hurt, and D Bland, he was playing on the inside, but now with Trayvon Diggs getting hurt, he moves to the outside, across from Stephon Gilmore, Gilly Lock, and he's just been playing really well. Last year he had, I think maybe it was like 4 picks last year, but to have 5 pick sixes in 1 year, and shit, has 6-7 games left. That's got to salute him, right? And I said something on I had tweeted something when I was watching that game, and I'm always on, like, obviously I'm a small school guy. I went to Howard University. I was a 6th round draft pick, and then just looking at other guys that get drafted late from small schools or even big time schools, right? Or I would say smaller schools. And D Bland, for him to come into this league, second year in the league, and the production that he's had when he's on the field, like something was missing, right? Because I said, like, there's no way he just jumps on the field and just automatically start making these plays. He had to be making these plays on film. You know what I mean? He went to, I think he ended up finishing at Fresno State. So obviously that's not a huge football school. But to my point, it's like the scouts, man, they have to go out and find these guys, because he was a 5th round draft pick, but he's not giving you 5th round draft pick production, right? He's giving you that 1st round, 2nd round draft production. You know what I mean? So again, it's just one of my things. Obviously, coming from a smaller school, it's like, okay, like what are scouts going into the building and what are they actually looking at? Like, how are they breaking down film? How are they really analyzing these players, right? So I feel as though they already have a preconceived notion when they walk into certain buildings that, oh, this guy, he may be raw, he may not have the ability, he's a day 2 or day 3 draft pick, but not really breaking down the film. You know what I mean? So, go to a LSU, go to a Ohio State, go to a Michigan. I feel like a lot of times they give those, I'm not gonna say the benefit of the doubt, but obviously they play, high level football, and they say, okay, well, if he's mediocre here or above average here, it can translate. But shout out to D Bland, man, just the way he's been able to capitalize on his opportunities. And again, he's making himself a lot of money week in and week out, just playing some really good ball, turning the ball over. That defense is, and then we can talk about a few people in that defense. Obviously, Michael Parsons, and then Bell, right? I talked about Bell when he came out. He was coming out of FAMU, another HBCU, coming out as a safety, but the Dallas Cowboys, they've moved him to linebacker, to that will side linebacker, and he's been a perfect fit for the Dallas Cowboys in that position because of the fact that he can cover. He can cover tight ends. He can cover backs out of the backfield, but then he's also a strong box presence where he's not a liability when it comes to the run. So shout out to the Dallas Cowboys, man. They've been playing some really good ball here. I know it's a knock on them because of the teams that they've beaten. Like, their total combined record is some garbage. But again, that's not the Dallas Cowboys' fault. They come in on Sundays or Thursdays, whenever they play, and they're going out there getting the wins that they're supposed to get. So again, it'll be interesting coming down the stretch. I'll see how the Dallas Cowboys will be able to finish the season, because that's another knock on them is that, coming down the stretch, they kind of fall asleep and not playing their best ball going into the playoffs. So that's going to be interesting with them. Keep an eye on the Washington Commanders, man. Coach Ron Rivera, what's going to happen with him? Is he going to be able to finish the season? Are they going to be looking for a new coach? But some interesting stuff over there in the nation's capital. Then we had San Francisco against the Seattle Seahawks, another divisional rival, thinking that this was going to be a tight game, but it was not. San Francisco 49ers came out and dominated all phases of the game, offensively, defensively. Again, when you can put 31 points up on the board, when you can hold a team to under 17, man, that's a good formula for success. Brock Purdy, again, we mentioned it last week where we talked about San Fran and their huge win. It was a lot of talk, with that 3-game losing streak for the San Francisco 49ers, as it should have been. But getting Trent Williams back, getting Deebo Samuels back, it looks like they're back clicking on all cylinders. Christian McCaffrey, can't talk enough about just his ability just to run the rock, catching the ball out of the backfield. So again, once they have all of their players on the field, man, it's like it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see when you see them out there and they go out there and rock. San Fran, one of the top teams in the NFC. I have them up there along with the Philadelphia Eagles. So interesting to see how they'll be able to finish this season off. But they look like a really, really well-oiled machine over there in the Bay. So shout out to them boys, continuing to do what they do. Next up, we had a Black Friday game. Miami Dolphins at the New York Jets. Regardless of the Jets put that quarterback, man, it doesn't look good at all. Miami Dolphins doing what they're supposed to do. Again, win the game that you're supposed to win. Again, putting up 30-plus points up on the board. Defense looking good as well. You can sit here and talk a lot about the Dolphins and the Jets, man. It's just it's bad when you don't have a signal caller that can really take you over the hump. It's going to be tough to win. And then typically, you will come in and say the Jets defense, could hold its own. But even with the Jets defense missing a lot of tackles this game, break down to some coverages, man. So it was a lot that wasn't typical of the Jets defense that you've seen of late, man. And it's just it's tough though to go out there and not know what type of play we're gonna get out of the quarterback position. Shit, I was fortunate enough, first half of my career, first with Peyton Manning, then with Andrew Luck, that you knew going into the game that you had a great opportunity or a great chance to win games just because of who was taking the ball who was taking snaps. Peyton Manning, we always knew that he was going to make sure that our offense was going to be clicking on all cylinders, holding everybody accountable, and we knew we were going to be in the game. Regardless of what the score was, going into the fourth quarter, going into halftime, we knew that we had a chance just because of who was at the quarterback. Not even talking about the other guys around him. And then when Andrew Luck came into the building as well, even as a rookie, we seen that, okay, with this young boy at quarterback, we have a chance to win games regardless of, again, what the scores are going into the half, going into the third or the fourth. With the Jets right now, that's just not the case for them. Obviously, as we know, it's not looking good over there. Obviously, high hopes the beginning of the season with A-Rod, with his then with his injury, that shit sell really, really quick. But we'll see again another good win for the Miami Dolphins. November, December football. Well, we're moving into December football. Crucial time of the year for all teams, especially those teams that's looking to be playing in February in Las Vegas for that Super Bowl. This is the time where teams start to separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Obviously, you see the separation, going into into November football. You see the separation from the bad teams to the good teams, but now the good teams and great teams. Now you start to see separations of teams that you really, really feel as though that can make that push into February. Trashy. AB, do you think there will ever be another player like Manning, Brady after Rodgers retires? Shit, we got one right now, Patrick Mahomes. I feel as though he's right there. He's going to put himself in that category. Patrick Mahomes, he's shown up to this point that he is an elite quarterback. He can lead his team to wins. And again, as I just talked about with the Peyton Mannings and the Andrew Luck, and you can put Tom Brady in there as well. You can put Aaron Rodgers, even a Big Ben when he was playing. When you have these type of quarterbacks on your team, regardless of what the situation is in the first quarter or whatever, when you walk out there with Patrick Mahomes, you have a good feeling that, hey, regardless of what happens, man, we have a chance to win this game. So I believe Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys, and I don't think anybody would not agree with me when I say that, but I think he's one of those guys that regardless of what the game is looking like at any time, he can put the book back on, he can carry his team. For sure. Let's start, go to week 12. Week 12, the scoreboard. It was some close games here. Some close games. I'm gonna talk my shit too. Like I said, my money line was on point. The only one that let me down, like I said, was Cleveland. They dealing with some injuries over there as well. But let's start with this AFC North matchup. The Pittsburgh Steelers against my Cincinnati Bengals. Again, I feel as though it's going to be a tough go for Cincinnati for the rest of the year with again with their signal caller out with a wrist injury. I think they confirmed it yesterday that they're putting Joe Burrow on IR. So Pittsburgh was able to get this win. Another win by a Coach Tomlin-led football team. A lot of talk about Kenny Pickett. This was, I think, their first time. I don't want to butcher this, but first time in a long time that they've gone over 400 yards in the passing game. It seems like when you had the Ben Roethlisberger, the Antonio Brown, the Le'Veon Bell, like those guys, man, Big Ben was 400 yards every week. So to see Kenny Pickett to start to push the ball down the field, I think that was a lot of criticism on his part, was that he wasn't really pushing the ball down the field. It was the intermediate throws, the check downs. And when you do that as a quarterback, the defense could, start to come down on you and make it tough. So for him to be able to push that ball down the field, gain confidence in that, it opens up the offense for you. Obviously, you have two good running backs in the backfield, so it will help them with the run game as well. So big shout out to the Pittsburgh Steelers getting that win, big divisional win over there. Next up, Tennessee Titans, Carolina Panthers. Another coach I feel as though is on the hot seat, even though I think it's kind of tough to have a coach on the hot seat. His first year in, Frank Reich, he was let go of his duties last year when he was with the Indianapolis Colts. Hired this year with the Panthers, and it's not looking good for them at all. And obviously, David Tepper, the owner for the Carolina Panthers, he's not happy about what's going on. But what can you expect, right? So obviously, you look around the league and you see another first-year coach, D'Amico, over in Houston with a first-year quarterback, and they're playing really, really, really good ball. They was in a tough matchup with Jacksonville. We're going to talk about that game a little bit. But first year, a rookie quarterback, first year head coach. You bringing your people in, you bringing your regime in, you bringing your coaches in, you trying to build that culture. But with the Carolina Panthers, man, it is not looking good. Not sure what's going to happen with Frank. I always feel as though you got to give a coach at least 3 years to really see if you have something. But just with how this season is going here in the Queen City, I'm not sure if he's going to survive. And again, we talk about it all the time. Like, it's okay where I'm not gonna say it's okay, because you in the business to win. You in this business to win, but you have to show something. You have to show like, okay, we're getting better here. We're improving week in and week out. We're having these tough losses, but with Carolina, man, it's ugly. Tennessee was able to get a win. Derrick Henry got it going a little bit on the run on the ground, but solid win. We're not gonna talk too much more about that. Jay Starship is D-Bud joining. He should be, man. But until then, man, we're gonna keep this thing moving. New England and the Giants. This was a stinker, man. Didn't know which way to go with this one. I ended up going with the Giants. The Patriots it's not looking good, but it was an interesting stat here. The Giants hadn't beaten the Patriots at home since 1987. That's wild. That's wild, and it's crazy. People in the background that got to research these things. And obviously, this was 1987. You see here, Coach Belichick was the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. That was the last time the Giants beat the Patriots at home. That's wild. That's wild. But shout out to the Giants, man. They got him a win. Young boy DeVito in at quarterback, making plays. We can go back. My guy D Butler is joining us. Yo.
Yo, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What it
Yes,
do? What it do?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We in the building, man. We in the building. I've been listening. I've been in the room for about good 10 minutes. Listening, you go down to some of these games, seeing that throwback Belichick pitch. Woo. Ugly right now.
Ugly over there, man. So we talked about a few coaches. We talked about Ron Rivera over in Washington. What's going to happen? Frank Reich. What's going to happen with him in Carolina? This is another coach that it's been conversation like what's going to happen with Bill. Like, does he retire? Does he look at one of these other teams that's not doing well that might be in the coaching search at the end of the year? What's his decision? How you feel about one of your former coaches, man, and what he does at the end of the season?
No chance he retires. No chance he retires in my opinion. Zeke, it's back here. No chance he retires in my opinion. He is about 20, I think around 20 something wins away from the all-time record. So I know he's gonna want to get that. Now, with that being New England, highly doubt it at this point. I think they'll mutually part ways after the season. First back-to-back losing seasons for Robert Kraft since he bought the team back in '94, I believe. So it's ugly right now. And the defense, imagine if you're on the defense, first team in history, I think, to lose back-to-back games and giving up 10 points or less. So I think obviously the Colts beat them over in Germany and then come back and lose to the Giants. Tommy DeVito. Jalen Hyatt made some plays too. So but shout out to the young boy and the Giants getting the win. But yeah, I think we'll probably see Belichick in LA coaching Justin Herbert next year. If I had to guess.
We're gonna talk about that. Them frauds. But next game, man, we got the Atlanta Falcons, man, against the New Orleans Saints. Falcons able to pull this one out, man. The Falcons, man, that shit crazy in the stadium. They had Luda coming down out of the Raptors.
Yeah,
they had T.I. bring them out.
Yeah, I was little son up too.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. But Falcons, man, was able to get it done. I think, and you talked about this. I seen somebody mention something this morning. Was like they feel like their quarterback is holding them back right now.
Ritter?
Yeah. I know you talked about, young boys stepping in, obviously having to grow. But it was a big win for them yesterday. Shout out to Honey Badger for the Saints. He had them 2 picks yesterday. But what was your in this division right now? Like,
this is somebody got to win the division, right? It was like the NFC East a few years ago, but I picked the Saints coming into the year. Falcons, I believe, are in the lead now after getting this big win over the Saints. Bucks obviously got whooped by our mob, the Colts down here. But Ritter made some plays yesterday. He made some plays. He stepped up, made some big plays with Drake London. I saw Bijan Robinson finally get, I feel like, fully involved in the offense. This is what everybody wanted to see. Bijan was one of those, top 10 picks in a lot of fantasy football leagues. So I know a lot of fantasy football owners were confused and kind of pissed off about his lack of usage. But he got going. And Jesse Bates, man, that looked like probably the free, if they were winning a little more, but probably the free agent signing of the year on the defensive side of the ball. Another 92-yard pick 6 for him. He had a forced fumble as well. He's been balling all year long in that defense, obviously the former Cincinnati Bengals. So a big win, and it's still an important season, week 12, where somebody going to have to just get hot. It ain't going to be the Panthers, obviously. That shit is ugly over there. The Bucks they kind of sliding, no Levante David out there. Baker Mayfield made some comments after the game. But yeah, so it's right there for the Falcons. I think that it's going to be either the Falcons or the Saints, and it's right there for Ritter. He got benched, came back. You got to bet on yourself, still young, still learning. So I think the Falcons right now have the best looking shot to win it down the stretch. It's a close game yesterday, but a good one for the young man playing quarterback, Desmond Ritter, and then obviously Bijan. I think that was the Bijan kind of coming out game, and obviously the Falcons need that. What was your thoughts on that one?
Nah, agreed, man. I think, like you said, Bijan Robinson, man, he's that it factor. You know what I mean? Because he can, on the offensive side, he can beat you in so many ways. Like, he can obviously run in a rock, but then, catching the ball out of the backfield, he's a matchup scare. You know what I mean? You're not going to, line a linebacker up across him. So again, they got to lean on him going down the stretch. I think you lean on him. You got Cordell Patterson. You got some weapons over there. So you figure some things out. I think the Atlanta Falcons, man, they can finish this thing out, and they could end up taking the division for sure.
Yeah, somebody gonna be hosting the playoff game. It might as well be them. I think it's gonna be between those two teams right there that played each other yesterday, though, the Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Shout out to Honey Badger too, still getting it done at a high level.
Still getting it done. 30+ picks, man, in his career, man. So,
I heard you talking earlier. What that? So your money line?
Oh. I'm back to my old ways. You know what I'm saying, D-Buck?
Yeah, it was only a matter of time. We had to have one of these weeks. One of us. What did you
money line? Shit. Like I said, the only game that I dropped was the Cleveland and Denver game. So it was a good one, man. It was a good one. Good week.
I had that one right. Did you? How much of that game did you watch? Were you surprised at all? Because I know the Broncos are favorite. I think the favorites overall did really, really good this weekend against the spread and money line. But I know I had the Broncos. I think Eagles still the hottest team in football at 10-1. But I think the Broncos have now won 5 in a row.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson, defense playing better, obviously. Took care of business yesterday against an offense who had, DTR quarterback, and then with PJ Walker once they knocked DTR, and I think that was a bad penalty as well. But what did you think on this Broncos-Browns game?
I was surprised. I thought I picked Cleveland, like you say, even though DTR was playing at the quarterback, taking the snaps. I thought the defense would be able to step up. Mm-hmm. But Russell Wilson and the offense, man, they were really doing whatever they really wanted to do against this Cleveland Browns defense. We talked about the defense all year, how they've been playing. They've been playing really well.
Yeah.
But I was surprised how the defense played. I think when you talk about having that good defense and having a difference maker, obviously with Myles Garrett, his injury, you're gonna have to figure out what that looks like, going down for the future. But when you have a defense like that that's been playing well, these are the times where you got to show like, we're the best defense in the league, and they didn't show up yesterday as such. So I was surprising on that end. But to your point, man, the Denver Broncos, they are playing some really, really good ball. Just looks totally different. I guess, just have to give them time, get Sean Payton time. But Russell Wilson, man, let's ride.
Let's ride.
You know what I mean?
What else we got?
Shit, we got man, I'm gonna talk about your Chargers, man. Last night, at home, they lose 20-10 to the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar and them. What's gonna happen, man? Khalil Mack was kind of really the only. I would say Khalil Mack, Keenan Allen.
Right, yeah.
Herbert, he was solid, but like what's going on, man? I want to say something too. So even though they had a nice, I think it was a 4th down play, Keenan Allen, dig route, Justin Herbert throws it to him, and then Keenan Allen, he laterals it back to
third and long.
They converted, but I'm like, he out here playing man for real, yo. Like that was the first thought that came into my mind. Like, I know he was probably like, I got some shit for him. Like, even though they converted it, I'm like, all right now. Like, but what's up with your Chargers? What's gonna happen?
Third and long, Kellen Moore, went to his bag of trap. I thought it was a cool play.
Good play.
I started to say, hold on, man, I gotta challenge that shit. We gotta take another look at that bullshit. But yeah, man, it just, I don't know, man. It's like they take turns tricking it off, and it's hard to just. Obviously, the head coach is responsible ultimately, for the wins, the losses, how the team is prepared, how the team is playing. It's gonna fall on Brandon Staley. You sitting now 4-6. And the Ravens are obviously a good squad, good mob. Clowney showed up, Van Noy, like that whole defense, and when the shit was on the line, they brought that gas, got home. Chargers couldn't block them up. Just couldn't really get anything going consistently. And then in the big moments, got stopped. And then the Ravens, Ravens did their thing. Continue to do almost kind of like Philly. But Philly's obviously doing it at the best level now, 10-1 again, back-to-back seasons. They just always find a way to call it right, to do whatever is necessary offensively to win the game. Your defense is going to show up and make plays. So they do a good job of playing complimentary football. But the Chargers, man, like I said, it all falls on their head coach. So after the season, I think he's gonna be out of there. I think it's gonna be some hot names out there. Who knows if they even give Kellen Moore a shot, but I think Ben Johnson, Detroit's gonna be a really hot name.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, we assume he may be, out of that New England Patriots building. Mike Vrabel maybe even out of Tennessee. So I feel like it's going to be some names. And then when you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert, who I think is still one of the more talented quarterbacks in the league, that's going to be a good situation for a new head coach to walk into. You got your quarterback situation already figured out. So a lot to figure out on that with that Chargers mob though, man. It's just something's off. Something's off.
Man,
they got
too much talent. I think we say it every week, man. Just too much talent over there for them to be losing how they're losing. Like too much talent.
Staley shook up. He shook up some people in the secondary. Benched some people. Got some other people playing, but and defense didn't play terrible. You mentioned Khalil Mack. They held Baltimore to like 13 for a long time. Zay Flowers had the long play at the end to get the touchdown, but for the most part, the defense played solid. Offensively, they just couldn't sustain and couldn't put points on the board, get them in the end zone. But it's tough, man. It's tough to watch. Tough to watch.
Yeah.
One
of your many teams, man. But I think the good thing for you though is that even if there you go. Good play design.
That's for you. It's like, all right.
It was a good play design because they converted the third down, 3rd and 17. Typically, what you looking at on 3rd and long, you're looking at a screen, a draw, or whatever the case may be. Yeah. No negative play. So I get it. So the defense is going to be playing back. They're going to be trying to cover the sticks. So good play design, but I'm like, damn, like I know they drawing shit up on Monday.
Speaking of play design, did you mention at all? Won't need to talk about it too much. The Titans-Panthers game.
I talked about a little bit. I didn't really.
Did you see the final play of that game? For final offensive play for the Panthers?
No.
4th and 6. Once again, speaking of play design, 4th and 6. I believe Bryce Young got a bunch to his left. He take it, throw like a bubble smoke screen. Receiver catch it like 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He smack, bop, bop, bop. 4th and 6. Obviously close game. 7-point game, touchdown game. 4th and 6. And man, I know it's Frank. We talked about it here last week, I believe. I know it's Frank Reich's first year. First overall pick. But boy, that was a tough look. Couldn't block it up at all for Bryce Young once again. It's tough watching that young kid play out there. I hope he gets the opportunity at some point to develop and to get a competent situation around him as far as, talent-wise, scheme-wise, but it's rough out there right now.
Man, I know you said I was crazy when I said this as far as like how the NFL should shake up like the draft picks. You remember when I said that?
Yeah.
And this is the reason why, because number 1 draft pick, and he goes to a horrible team, a horrible situation. And the first thing that people say, though, he's gonna be a bust. He's a bust. Like that's unfair. That's unfair.
Life ain't fair, AB. Sports ain't fair. We try to get it close. Then the fairness part of it is you give the shitty team the first pick. And usually if you are worthy of being that first pick, you you got to rise all ties around you.
Hell no, not in the game where it's 10 other people on the field, and then I mean I get it. Yeah, shit ain't fair. Life ain't fair. I respect that 100%. But to be that number one pick and you go to the shittiest team, and then you gonna call me a buff?
Yeah, you got to give. It's your job as that number one pick. You got to give everybody else time around you to give. You got to make everybody better. First of all, man, Andrew Luck, and that was a great situation for Andrew Luck because y'all weren't as bad as the record previous. Yeah, obviously, y'all lost Peyton. You didn't obviously have a backup situation. Y'all were in a lot of those games, honestly. I was in what I played. I was in Carolina that year. I think it came down to like last drive or something like that. But so it wasn't a bad situation. Had a good draft as well. But Andrew Luck, he rose all ties on the offensive side of the ball. The year before that, when Cam Newton was the number one pick in Carolina, once again, not a horrible situation. Had pieces. It's the NFL, so you should have some competent pieces around you. Once again, I think 6-10. I was there as a teammate, but competitive. Every week you showed up, it wasn't just going to be, we playing the Panthers, like it's going to be a win. Nah, because they got the number one pick at quarterback, like C.J. Stroud. He makes it different.
I think
immediately.
I think each team that you just mentioned is totally different than what Bryce Young is dealing with. Like each of those teams are totally different. Totally different. When Andrew Luck came to Indianapolis, man, that team we had, it was a playoff team. Like I feel as though we would have had a quarterback situation the year before. I honestly don't think
they had
them are even in. I don't even think Chuck and them are even in the building if we had a decent quarterback that year.
Who did they?
We went 2-14.
They fired Caldwell.
Yeah, Caldwell. We went 2-14. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of shook it up. You knew you had a number one draft pick. So I just think that was different. I think in Carolina, when you had Cam Newton, y'all had some staples over there.
Listen, Smitty.
Yeah, y'all had some staples.
Shockey was kind of, Shockey was still. He had running backs. D'Angelo and Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, bro. That shit was totally different. So you can't compare that. And then
Olsen, Greg Olsen. So yeah, they had. But once again, that's on the team. The team got to have some type of competent pieces.
This young boy,
Carolina competed last year with Wilkes.
And that's what they should have hired Wilkes. But I don't understand why we even sitting here talking about Carolina.
Yeah. This is a conversation.
But we could be talking about this for forever. But I just hate it for the young boy. He's back there running for his life. And we'll see.
Yeah.
Because then
everybody got to be better. Coaches, players, everybody got to be better.
Because then again, it could be a situation if they don't bring Frank Reich back. Okay, now he on his second play caller, his second system in his early career. So, we'll see. We'll see. Talk about this KC Las Vegas games for sure. Las Vegas, the Raiders came out strong.
Yeah.
Jumped up on KC. Just couldn't really weather that storm. KC, Patrick Mahomes was able to make that. I didn't see too much of this game, but obviously, able to, get back and get a big win for them, another divisional matchup. So, did you see much of this one right here?
I saw a little bit of it, like you said. I saw a lot of this on Red Zone, actually. I think I was traveling doing this 4 o'clock window. But like you said, Aiden O'Connell, the Raiders jumped out 14-0 lead. I think the Chiefs got it back 14 up, tied it up right before the half, and then Rice. This Chiefs team, this Chiefs offense specifically, like somebody outside of Kelsey, and even Kelsey's gonna have to step up more, but somebody outside of Kelsey just gonna have to be that consistent guy. I see glimpses of Rice. I feel like he could be, wide receiver 1, but really wide receiver 2 when you think about Kelsey.
Who Kelsey
Watson obviously always shows up. I also think keep handing that thing off to Pacheco, man. Pacheco is one of them backs, man. Like you, even as a defender, like he one of those guys you don't want to get going. You know, he always is. He always got energy. He always running hard. He always finishing runs. He's gonna be efficient in the red area. So they got to keep on evolving offensively. The Raiders fault once again. They got a bye week. I saw a report before I got on saying Marcus Peters supposed to be released because like his lack of effort. You know, some plays he was benched early. He was benched, so they said they're not expecting him with the team once they come out of the bye week. And that's kind of if that is the case, something you want from your head coach. You know, that's the tone, that's the culture, starter, non-starter, big money guy, little money guy. If you're not giving that effort first and foremost, that's something that should never have to be coached or even brought up in the meeting, especially one of your guys that you know other young guys are looking at like, hey, he's a starter. Hey, he's a this, he's a that. As a head coach, we used to always say you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. So you got to make a decision there. But Raiders came out, fought Crosby. You know, he played hurt, made some big plays. But, you know, Jacobs got back involved, making some big plays as well, but wasn't enough against a better Chiefs team. Chiefs found a way to get another win. They're going to have to figure some things out, man.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Before we get into these big-time games, D-Butt, I want to I talked about the Ron Bland earlier in the show. And we got the all-time pick six list here, right? We got Rod Wilson with 12.
Oh,
Darren Sharper at 11. Wilson tied 11. Aqib Talib at 10. You got Prime up there at 9. You got some. Dang, you got Jack Rabbit at 8. Okay, alum, man-to-man alum. Malcolm Jenkins. Marcus Peters, Ed Reed at 7.
Malcolm at 7 and things? I didn't know that.
I ain't know that neither.
Jay Joseph.
You got Carlos Dansby, should be in the Hall of Fame.
Numbers crazy.
Crazy. So we got some names up here. Dre Bly 5, Eric Berry 5.
Yeah. So wait. Blair had 5. He got 5 this year, right? So he didn't have any last year? Hey, you see me up there? Where I'm at? We tied for 65?
You up there with, you got Champ?
Who I'm tied with? Sheldon Brown, okay.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, Bobby Boyd, Champ. Let me just say, when people ask me, I'm tied with Champ.
Tied with Champ, yeah.
I'm tied with Champ. Me and Champ tied for 65? Yeah, we tied for 60.
So it's crazy. You talk about D. Bland and how many he has 5 in his second year.
Second year. So, you know, you stepped up, big role expand, guy go down, bet on yourself. And it ain't like Cowboys playing a bunch of zone coverage, soft shell coverage. Guys got vision on the quarterback. They lead the league in man-to-man coverage. Been at the top of the league pretty much all year long before Trevon went down, after Trevon went down. So you playing a lot of man-to-man coverage, and you not only getting your hands on the ball, but you getting it back in the end zone. So once that play was made, we probably always watching that game. Jim Nantz had an incredible call with the game. Obviously, you know, being in the moment, being fully aware of the moment. As soon as he intercepted the ball, he was locked in from jump. Just a masterclass in that department. But you know, to see how happy Dan Quinn was, how beside himself he was in the box, how his teammates were all after him. Obviously, during the game, after the game, that was a super dope moment for Deron. He got plenty of time to build on that record and hopefully get another one. But what he's been doing is just incredible all year long, man. His instincts, his playmaking ability, finishing the plays, man, just incredible from start to finish this year.
Yeah. I love to see it. Love to see it. Finish this up, man. We're gonna talk about our Colts, man. Bucks at Indy, man. The Bucks at the Colts. Big win for the Colts. JT got going, look good. Gardner Minshew, you know, had some some good plays, some positive plays for the offense. You know, some plays it was there you kind of scratching your head, but a big time win for the Colts. Obviously, earlier in the week, you know, letting go Shaq Leonard. You know, they showed him in the press box. You know, him and his family at the game, him supporting his guys. So love to see that. But this was a huge win for our Colts, man. Obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're gonna talk about that game, but them beating the Houston Texans. Right now, our Colts right there sitting in the wild card, sitting in a really good spot right now, in a really good spot. So all they have to do is continue to control what they can control. That's them going out there playing the games and winning. But
control our own destiny too.
That's it. So just go out there and win the games, man. Anything that you saw in this game that you were excited about, any concerns? Speaking on our Colts.
Yeah, man, I sent this to Tom. I don't know if you got it in there or not, but some of the stats that especially that defense. So Sampson, he closed the game out off the edge, pretty much strip sack of Baker Mayfield in a huge moment. But 6 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, fresh off the bye week. So they did their thing. The Colts defense did their thing, and obviously the offense, you know, felt in the biggest moment of the game, late in the fourth. 9 plays, 85 yards, right down the field for a go-ahead touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, he looked like he's pretty much all the way back. And I know a lot of people forget we had a lot of offseason last year. He was banged up, had the contract situation. But when 2-8 is at his best, he's in that conversation. Christian McCaffrey is kind of separated himself at this point, but after that, 2-8 is in that conversation. When he's playing his best ball, and then right beside him, right behind him is Zach Moss, who's been playing well as well. He's been taking advantage of his opportunity. But Michael Pittman Jr., another big day. Josh Downs has been great all year long as a rookie wide receiver. Been banged up last few weeks, but still showing up. And that big play call, like 3rd, 4th and inches. What was it, 4th and inches or 3rd and inches?
4th and inches when they, you know, out in the flat. Converting that 4th down.
Yeah, not one. I'm talking about the one hard play action, Mo Alley Cox, right there.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Huge play. And that 9 play, 85-yard drive to pretty much seal the game. So complimentary football at home, off a bye week. You know, played in Germany, had the bye week, and then you show up and get a win at home against a talented Tampa Bay Bucs team who made it close at the end as well. But I'm proud of the coach, man. I'm proud of the mob, man. 6-5. You mentioned, you know, we moved on from Shaq Leonard, who you know, put together, you know, a legendary career in a small amount of time in Indy, few All Pros, became one of the highest paid linebackers in league history. Lost our starting quarterback that we took 4 overall, had some other injuries, but no excuses, no explanations. Shane Steichen got his team at 6-5 right now, in control of our own destiny, going into week 13 now?
Week 13.
Yeah, we can't ask for nothing better than that right now with the cards we've been dealt.
Nah, for sure, man. So again, just control what they can control. Keep building on. Should be building on yesterday, really. You know, defense. Keep getting after the quarterback. Obviously, when you can turn the ball over, put pressure on the quarterback, on the opposing quarterback, that always plays in favor for you. So, and again, like you say, lean on JT. Like when you can do that, it opens so much of the passing game and the offense. So good shit by the Colts, man.
Absolutely, man. Boy,
what you laughing at?
Thinking about Jim a few days ago. Jim was wilding on X a few days. Another conversation for another day, man. Shout out.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Shout out to Jimbo, man. 1-on-1.
Another AFC South showdown. This was a good one. The Jags, man, traveling to Houston. 2 very good teams in the South. Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud. We talked about CJ Stroud and just, you know, how he's been playing as a rookie. You know, got D'Amico Brown's first-year head coach, and you know, each week, you know, his team is prepared to play, ready to play.
Yep.
But Jacksonville, man, was able to squeak this one out. I'm not sure if you saw this one, man. I think it was what was the field goal? It was what, 59?
Yeah, 58, I think. 58.
Like 59. Just missed. Hit the crossbar. But a good game. Like I said, two quarterbacks going at it. I thought CJ Stroud was going to be able to get him another game-winning drive.
Yeah, it looked like it.
It looked like it, but a good game. Good game here. I think this is going to be a matchup that we're going to see a long time. Again, talk about Trevor Lawrence, like where is he at in his career? But obviously, you can tell just past 2 years, his game has continuously climbed slowly but surely. And CJ Stroud, like I said, early in his career, rookie season, man, he's been dealing over there H-Town.
Yeah, back-to-back wins now for the Jags after that that embarrassing loss from San Fran. But this league is all about how you bounce back that next week. Every week is a new week, and like you mentioned, these two teams, these two quarterbacks, these two head coaches, I think they got it figured out, for the long run. And we should be seeing these teams go back and forth in the AFC South, for a long time. Shoot, hopefully we right in that conversation as well. Yeah, in the Indy, especially when when we got Anthony Richardson back in the fold. But this was a great game. Great game. Like you said, I thought it was a 4th and 1 late in the game. Maybe the second to last drive, or third to last drive for the Texans, which was a real turning point, I thought, for that game, which was a drop back pass. Felt like they could have did something a little differently there. But CJ Stroud has been special, man, all year long. Trevor Lawrence is back-to-back games now, find a way to put his team in position to win. Josh Allen on the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, like, he's having a career year this year. I don't know if I feel like it should be around that contract year, or he should definitely be getting read up.
Because he had like 10 and a half, 11 and a half sacks right now.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there. I know he's having a career year for sure for himself, but at a great time as well. So shout out to Josh Allen making himself some money this year. Steven Nelson, man alum, had some big time plays in this game as well. But these games, it's gonna come down to it. One possession games, last drive, field goal. A lot of these games are gonna come down, especially this part of the year. So great game. They split on the year. The first time they matched up in week 3, CJ Stroud kind of had that coming out part. Like, oh shit, Houston might have got him one.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacksonville found a way to get this one done. I think they were favored in this game too.
I think by like 3.
Yep, I picked the Texans to win and cover. So obviously that didn't happen. But shout out to one of your mobs, your Jacksonville Jaguars, getting a dub.
Yeah. I hate to say, I even hate to even say that, like my Jacksonville Jaguars, especially in the NFC South. But shit, I called this shit like 2 years ago. I'm like, Jacksonville, they're gonna be a problem, man.
Everybody there.
Say it again.
What a game! I said as soon as they got everybody there.
Oh yeah, facts. This was a good one right here.
Great one.
Good one. Philadelphia, man, was able to pull this one out. Great game. I think quarterback play was exceptional here. I know we talked a lot about Josh Allen, but I think he played well yesterday.
Yep.
Running the rock, throwing the ball. Jalen Hurts doing what he does. I think this was what we wanted to see. Two young quarterbacks. Two of the, I can't even say, well, in Buffalo kind of little, it's been up and down this year, but Philly doing what they do. Just a solid, really good game yesterday.
Yeah, Josh Allen, especially early on, was making plays, especially with his legs too. This is once again, this time of the year, November, December, you're gonna be dealing with weather. You playing at these outdoor stadiums. They haven't went all domes yet, as AB would like them to. But we good this time of the year, Philly, Buffalo, Cleveland. Like, you're gonna be in these different environments. You're gonna have to deal with some weather. I think this back-to-back games now for Philly, being in these ugly weather games, but just finding a way to win. They were down multiple scores in the second half. Darrell Owens, shout out D.O., another one of my mobs. Jalen Hurts, ice in his veins, man. Just always, the moment's never too big. Found a way to get involved, especially late. They got that zero look, that quarterback draw, which is always, I feel like, in their arsenal. I feel like maybe it's like a check that Jalen Hurts just always has available to him, and he ended up getting into the end zone. Wasn't pretty. Bradbury had a huge interception in this one, kind of in that trap coverage, cover 2, was in a press, opened up. Josh Allen, I don't know if he didn't see him, thought he could squeeze the ball in there, but made a big play in a big moment in this game. Shout out to Philly, man. 10-1 with a tough schedule, too. It's not, they came into the league this year with the toughest schedule in the league, and now, you know, these last few weeks, they've went and beat, let me see, I got it here, beat Dolphins, man, on prime time, Sunday Night Football, beat the Commanders by a touchdown, beat the Cowboys, which was a good one, beat the Chiefs, and now just beat the Bills. So this is one of those teams that you can look at and say, okay, that team is tried, true. We know who they were coming into the year. The Ravens, I feel like they're right up there. The Chiefs, they're beating the teams they're supposed to. Dallas, you know, they're beating up on teams that they're supposed to week in and week out. Same with Miami. But this Philly team got the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Seahawks coming up. So that gauntlet continues. But 10-1 right now, man. Continue to find a way to win. They won this one without their best tackle in Lane Johnson. What was your thoughts on this one, man? I know Bills now. Bills are what? 6-6?
Yeah.
6-6. I know obviously their playoff chances took a hit. What you thinking? What you think going on out there, Buffalo, going forward? With the new OC Joe Brady calling the shots now.
I don't know, man. I think their window is kind of closing on them. 6-6. I don't think anybody would have had Buffalo at 6-6, sitting at this part of the season. But I just think their window is closing on them, man. I don't know what it is. Playing very inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Even with the loss last night, it looks like they were playing like Bills type of ball. But prior, like early in the season, man, just very, very inconsistent play. And again, that just comes with, it comes with coaching, it comes with the players as well. So I just think their window is closing.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll see some changes this offseason. But as you mentioned about the Philadelphia Eagles sitting at 10-1, like that's not easy to do, especially when last year you had the season that you had, and you can get everybody's best shot, and you're taking everybody's best shot and still finding ways to win, whether it's ugly, whether it's pretty, a win is a win in this league. Bless. So for Philadelphia, man, it's like you said, it's good to be able to get those rough wins, those ugly wins, those grounded out wins. So to see them, down the stretch, man, it's going to be interesting to see how they're able to finish up and go into the playoffs. Because I think they already clinched a playoff berth with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's crazy. Going into week 13?
13 now, yep.
Week 13 already clinching a playoff berth. So shout out to them. But what they can't do is relax. Being that they know they have a playoff berth, they cannot relax. They want to be playing their best ball going into the playoffs for the Buffalo Bills. They're gonna have to get they're gonna have to look in the mirror, man. And these last few weeks, man, they're gonna have to get hot and win these games.
Yeah, they're gonna have left. Oh, let's see. Is Tone still in?
He might be over here. So I'm gonna look it up real quick. But that's big too, just as far as like who they who they have left.
But yeah, see, I think already, I mean, obviously they turn around, going to run, win the Super Bowl. Who cares how they started? But right now, going into where they're going in, fired off coordinator at this point, they got it tough.
They got the Chiefs.
Ooh.
They got the Cowboys.
Ooh.
The Chargers.
Okay.
The Patriots.
Okay.
And then the Dolphins.
Already lost to the Patriots once, but the Patriots, beat the shit out of the Dolphins earlier this year. So we shall see. But like you said, man, inconsistent. And for a long time in that game last night, it looked like they had it. Like, all right, Bills it's a big win. This could be the one that turns the season around. Josh Allen 0-6 now in overtime games. And this one, they changed the rules after the Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes unbelievable. I think divisional round game changed the playoff rules, especially for overtime rules, I believe, in the playoffs. But another one now, 0-6, got the ball first, had a miss, just a misconnection between him and Gabe Davis. It looked like it should have been a touchdown, switch route, should have been a touchdown. He threw it inside. Gabe Davis broke outside. Man, that I know that was tough for them. Went and kicked the field goal, and then obviously Jalen Hurts and the Eagles got the ball, drove it back down, scored, walk-off game. So close, but no cigars. Another loss for the Buffalo Bills against a very good Philadelphia Eagles football team. Number one in my power rankings for another week.
For sure. Agreed. We'll preview this Monday night game. We got Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota comes in as a 3-point favorite. Josh Dobbs at the quarterback position for the Vikings. Who you see winning this game tonight, D? But
NFC North battle. I picked the Bears last week to go and upset the Lions.
Damn fool.
It was close. It was close, AB.
Bears going Bears.
It was close. Justin Fields, I think he's going to do his thing running the ball, but I think Josh Dobbs and this Vikings team find a way to win this one. 3 points. Yeah, I think Vikings win. Vikings cover at home on Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 12 in the NFL. Who you got in this one, AB?
I'm going with the Vikings. Shit, I ain't even trying to dissect it. I'm going with the Vikings. I feel like playing at home, they've been playing some decent ball since, Josh Dobbs come in, taking the snaps, man. So it should be a game that Minnesota wins. So I'm going to go Minnesota.
All right. Both for Minnesota. No surprises here. I don't know. DJ Moore.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, no, AV.
There you go. But, hey, man, before we get out of here, got some F1. No surprises here.
Speaking of tough, hard-fought victories.
No surprises here.
Hey, the season is over. The Formula One season is over. Wrapped up in Abu Dhabi, the Grand Prix. Hey, this is I don't know if Tone put the other slide in here that showed all the accomplishments that Red Bull and Max Verstappen had this year. But right here, you see the final team standings: Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari rounded out the top three. But here we go. Yeah, here we go. Ferrari, McLaren 4, Aston Martin 5, Alpine, Williams, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, and then Haas at 12. But yeah, 860 points. Woo! The next team, Mercedes.
Now, like that don't make any sense right there.
This next slide right here is gonna make some sense. Now we just witnessed, and it's not great for America and the new fan base that they're trying to bring in, but we just witnessed the most dominant season in Formula One history. Every record Max Verstappen broke in 2023. Highest percentage of wins in a season, most wins, most points, most consecutive wins, most podiums, most laps led in the season. He led over 1,000 laps, I believe 1,003 laps this season. Most consecutive wins from pole position, most wins from pole in the season, biggest point gaps between first and second. What was that? Okay, most consecutive races as championship leader, most consecutive points scored, most consecutive top 2 finishes, most hat tricks in the season, most pit stops by the winning driver in one race. Because I remember one race he pit stopped late to get like the fastest lap, get some fresh tires. It was crazy. Only driver to win 3 times in one country. That was here. He won in Austin, he won in Miami, and he won in Vegas. Only driver to lead 1,000 laps ever. 19 wins, 21 podiums, the most dominant Formula One season ever. So once again, not great for the fans, not great for the sport as a whole, honestly. But a great season for Red Bull and Max Verstappen, and he capped it off in true Max Verstappen fashion with a pole position at Abu Dhabi and then the win in the race. But it was an interesting battle after Red Bull. Came down to the last race between Ferrari and Mercedes for the P2 in the Constructors' Cup. Mercedes ended up getting it. Ferrari ended up in 3rd place. So another Formula One season in the books. they'll be back in March, and we'll be back talking about it, baby.
Man, that shit is crazy.
Beyond.
860 and the next team at 409. Like they just out there racing. They compete with themselves, man.
Facts. Big fact.
That's wild. And then Max. Like, I want to have to sit down with Max and Red Bull team. What are y'all doing? Like so drastically different. Like 860 and then 400. Like, come on now.
Adrian Newey, their lead engineer, basically in charge of building the car. You have Hannah something. I forget
what school he went to.
Oh no. But he still draws his diagram just with a pencil.
Old school.
But they brought in Oracle, who's one of their partners. Is it Oracle? They said they were able to run like 25% more simulations. The young lady who's in charge of their strategy, Hannah something, she's top of class. Just the execution, man. Their strategy's always on point, and then like Red Bull never
that much execution in the damn world, man.
Races, they got the information. Now they did go over the previous year. They spent more than they were supposed to. And they, got penalized, but not drastically enough for a lot of people. And then, what else? Yeah, just execution, man. Game day execution. The pit stops, always excellent pit stops. Week in, week out. And then got a combination with a great car and one of the best drivers in Formula One history. This is the result. Most dominant season ever.
D-Buck.
Sergio Perez got the same car, bro.
I don't think so. I don't think so. So now you got me.
Checo got the same car. There was some rumors coming out that said Lewis Hamilton was trying to get to Red Bull.
Look at this, D-Buck.
Red Bull reached out to me.
I understand. The driver. The driver is a very important component in this, and then the team behind them obviously is very important, right? So you got Mercedes, you got Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin.
Almost equally as important, AB.
Okay.
What team, the car, and then obviously putting the driver in it.
Yeah, like all of those things are important.
Mm-hmm.
So the driver can go out there and do what he do, right? Red Bull had 860 points. Second place had 409. So this is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Red Bull isn't better than the field. Obviously, they are, as you can see. But it's hard for me to sit here and say, in a professional sport, the gap from first to second is that much. And you saying like engineers and the pit stops and the driver, like that's hard for me to. Like, so basically, are you going to the race for the atmosphere and to see Max win?
Yeah, and something can happen. Accident can happen. That's the other thing, reliability. Like, I don't think it was a race this year where the car just, the engine went out or power unit or this or that. It happened with Ferrari multiple times. I don't think Mercedes it happened too, but it's all those things put together. But the most important thing, obviously, the driver, and then when you have the best car on the grid, which they came into this year with already a dominant car. So the driver, once you are the more used to that car you get, the wider that gap and that margin is going to get. And it's consistency, man. You saw the last slide, like every race to show up, because different tracks, give different cars advantages. So like certain tracks where McLaren going to be faster than Ferrari or Mercedes. So, but like the tire wear, like look at this shit, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so even that, like, again, I'm not, I don't know about F1 like that. I'm just trying to just use my common sense. You got the most pit stops and you still win. Like I just don't. I'm just thinking about just everyday shit. Like we got all these cars going around the shit, like going however fast they go. And he's stopping more than everybody, and he still went like.
Which one is it? Most
pit stops by the
pit
winning
stops.
driver in one race.
Yeah, I think that was, I forget where it was, but that was one of the races where he was so far ahead. And his team was telling him, no, like don't come in, because you get like an extra 1 point if you finish in the top 10 and you have the fastest lap. So somebody else had the fastest lap. And you see up here somewhere it says hat tricks as well. So that's pole position, that's winning the race, and that's leading every lap, I believe. Or is winning the race, getting the fastest lap, leading every lap, something like that. So he tell him on, hey, you know, I'm coming in. I want to get the fastest lap. So basically you get the newer your tires, the faster the car is going to go on the track. So that's why he got that. Everybody else is probably like a 2-stop race, but he had that third stop. Said, fuck it, I'm going to get this fastest lap. I'm going to go out here and get it. So, I mean, they were in a league of their own, literally. You saw the record. League of their own.
Smell a little fishy, D-Bot.
Hopefully the other teams, the other cars catch up, because you do have great drivers. I don't think the margin between Max and the rest of the drivers is that large. But you got to put, you know, a guy like Lewis in the championship car. You got to put, you know, Lando Norris, I think, is great. Fernando Alonso, these old guys are still great drivers, but they got to get in championship cars or championship teams.
So even when you make that statement, what's the other driver for Red Bull?
Sergio Perez. So
even with that, them having the same car, like I get it. Max might be a better driver than Sergio, but with having the same car and he's being a professional, I feel as though Sergio got to have more win. Again, I know it's a team thing and who's the big dog.
Yes, sir. So the point difference between Max Verstappen and his teammate Sergio, aka Checo Perez.
Listen to this shit.
Max Verstappen had 575 points. Sergio Perez had 285.
Yeah, bro, that's not the same car, Slim. Nah, you can tell that to somebody else, but they're not driving the same car.
And now every car, so if you win the race and you get the fastest, so winning the race, you get 25 points. Getting the fastest lap as well, that's 26 points, obviously. And let's say you have a sprint weekend and you win that too, I think that's 8 points. So you'll have a grand total of 26 plus 8, so 34 points. That's the most you can get in one weekend. And obviously Max was winning damn near every weekend, but Sergio, he wasn't making out of qualifying, it went like 3-4 weeks, wasn't even getting into like the third round of qualifying. So yeah, then the difference between 2 and 3 is 285 with Sergio, then Lewis Hamilton 234, and then fourth place 206. Fifth, oh shit, two drivers are tied actually 206. Then you had 205, 200, 170. So it was a nice tight battle after Max. That's what I'm saying. He just his own this year, man.
Shout out to Max, man.
Shout out to Max.
You know what I mean? But hey,
Formula One be back in March.
There you have it, man.
Hopefully more competitive.
Yeah, hopefully. There you have it, man. Another good one, man. The Man Pod, man. It's Monday, November 27th. As always, man, get your 30 minutes in, do something, walk around, get that heart rate up.
Hey, we got top fives?
Top fives. We can do it.
You got yours in?
Nah, I ain't shoot on mine, but we can do it off the humbug though.
All right, let me run mine then. I'll let
Go ahead.
Think about it. We can take the F1 this dominant.
Yeah, that shit don't make no sense, man.
This dominance down. We get these top 5 up going. Well, shoot, we're wrapping up week 12 tonight, but spoiler alert, the Vikings or the Bears have absolutely no impact on my top 5. But starting at the top, Philadelphia Eagles, obviously big win yesterday against another good football team, the Buffalo Bills. They moved to 10-1, and they remain at the top spot in my top 5, Philadelphia Eagles. Number 2, San Francisco 49ers. Since getting Trent back in the lineup, Brock Purdy and co have been just hitting on all cylinders right now. So they are number 2 in my top 5. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. Another win last night against an okay football team in the Los Angeles Chargers on prime time. But they get another win. Defensively, look outstanding. Offensively, can play any type of game they need to play, physical run game, and they can throw the ball around if they need to. Number 4, excuse me, Kansas City Chiefs. Got another win against the Raiders. Not quite the Chiefs that we are used to or accustomed to, but still finding ways to get a win and one of the best defenses in the National Football League. So I think you pair up Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid with that defense, they got a great chance to do some great things this year. So they're at number 4 in my top 5. And then number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys have been playing some good football. They've been beating the shit out of the teams that they should beat the shit out of. And then we'll see. They've been playing the good teams well, but we'll see how they finish this season off. But they round out the top 5 for me. So that's Eagles, 49ers, Ravens, Chiefs, Cowboys round out my top 5.
Okay. I like it. Sure. I'm going to start mine off at the top. I got the Philadelphia Eagles as well. Okay. Again, we just talked about them playing magnificent football. It doesn't always look pretty, but they're finding ways to win. So again, it's not easy to come back off of another spectacular season they had last year, knowing that you're gonna get everybody best shot. So I got Philly at 1. Number 2, I got the Baltimore Ravens, led by Lamar. I just feel like, as the season progresses, the offense is clicking. Zay Flowers is going to be a problem, and then the defense. You got Hamilton, you got Roquan Smith, you got everybody that's doing their part on the defense for the Baltimore Ravens. So I got them at 2. At 3, I got San Fran. As you just mentioned, they had that 3-game slide, but since then, like you said, Trent Williams coming back, Deebo Samuel's coming back, offense clicking on ceiling, C-Mac doing what he do, Brock Purdy doing what he does, the defense getting after it as well. So I have them at 3. Kansas City comes in at number 4. I talked about earlier in the show, when you have a quarterback such as Patrick Mahomes, you get off that bus, you walk off that plane, very, very confident, knowing that, hey, we have an opportunity to win this game, and not to say too much, not to say about the defense, but the defense is playing really, really well this year. And number 5, I'm going with the Miami Dolphins, one of Darius Butler's teams. I was thinking about Dallas. Dallas, they're playing some good ball. It's not their fault. The teams that they're playing don't have good records. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But I'm going to go Miami. Just again with that offense. I feel like the defense is going to continue to get better. Jalen Ramsey stepping into the fold and doing what he does week in and week out since he's been back. Miami's going to round out my top 5. So again, 1 is Philly, 2 is Baltimore Ravens, 3 San Francisco 49ers, 4 the Kansas City Chiefs, and 5 the Miami Dolphins.
All right, here we go. Some good top 5s right there, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us another Monday. What's this, the 27th?
The 27th.
Yeah, November 27th. December is pretty much here. I know, hey, we ran them calories up this weekend. Hey, and it's Monday now. Don't be leftover yesterday.
It's a wrap for the leftovers?
Yesterday, you was pushing it. You was already pushing it yesterday. And if it was still leftovers yesterday, that shit probably wouldn't hit like that anyway.
No ham sandwiches for lunch today?
Nah, not on Monday. Don't try to be cheap. Somebody try to send your kids to school to have in the nurse's office with a tummy ache. But yeah, leftover time is over. But hope everybody enjoyed their family. Took a little time to sit back and reflect on what they're grateful and thankful for.
Shit.
What's that?
Breaking news.
Oh shit, what we got?
Breaking news. Hold on, let's
confirm. Let's confirm. Nick is pretty. I think Nick is pretty.
Nick is solid.
Telling you, man, it was that damn 4th and 6. It was that damn 4th and 6. Hold on, I don't see it yet. I don't see it on the timeline yet.
Yeah, I don't see it neither.
Nick, you out here making shit up before we get up out of here?
Yeah.
You see it? I don't see it.
Confirmed by Aaron Rappaport.
Oh, Rap Sheet?
Rap Sheet confirmed. Let me see. Chris said,
Oh, yep.
and done. Yep.
One and
Okay.
done. This is a tweet.
Nick.
Shout out Nick, breaking news. Okay, y'all news break on the Man to Man pod. Shout out Nick Scraggin. Hey, he had a rough weekend, Nick. It looked like based on your picture, but one and done. This is a tweet from Rap Sheet. One and done. The Panthers have fired coach Frank Reich. Sources say moving on before his first season is over. Special teams coordinator Chris Tabor is the interim head coach addressing the team now. Jim Caldwell moves. Why wouldn't he be there? Jim Caldwell moves to the special advisor working with the offense. So we talked about Jim Caldwell earlier in the show. But Frank Reich fired 12 games into his first year with a rookie quarterback. And I think that call, that 4-6 call, that was the nail in the coffin.
Damn.
It was that bad, AB. When you go back and see it, you're gonna be like, yeah. I feel Frank might have been ready to get up out of there with that one.
Man, I mean, I don't know how much going on in the building. You kind of, heard Frank kind of mention as far as, having to meet with the owner. Obviously, you do. Everybody, you got to meet with somebody. But, he probably was getting tired of that shit too. Like, damn, I got to go in this meeting again. And you know what I'm saying? But, hey, this is 2 years in a row. He's been, been let go. Again, I feel like.
Damn, yeah.
I feel like they had the guy in the building.
Facts.
They had the guy in the building. Because a lot of this, and you can see even with the Raiders, it's about the guys wanting to play for the, when a coach stands up in front of in the meeting room and he's talking to you, it's either it's one or two things. Either, it's going in one ear, coming in one ear, going out the other, and you're like, all right, coach. But then other coaches, like when they're talking, you're buying into it. And you can see kind of where Antonio Pierce, they're buying into him. And last year when Steve Wilkes was there, you see the guys, they bought into what Steve Wilkes was selling. Yeah. And, when you didn't hire Steve Wilkes, it was rough. But when you bring in a first-year quarterback, you bring in a new coach, and he just got let go from his previous job in a similar manner. Mm-hmm. That's tough, man.
And we know Tepper. We know Tepper is not the most patient of team owners out here. So you just gotta show progress, man. When you got one win it is late in the season, you're obviously gonna be on a hot seat, but you have to show some type of progress. They sure didn't expect him to come in and win 10 games as a first-year head coach with a first-year quarterback, but you can't be in week 13 just looking inept, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So Panthers move on from Frank Reich. It's a tough business, cutthroat business. Frank Reich got another opportunity right after being let go last year. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure he got a lot of money guaranteed. This is now David Tepper. I don't know how much he still have to pay Matt Rule, but got rid of Matt Rule with a bunch of money guaranteed. Got rid of Frank after his first year. Maybe is this the third? His
Maybe
third.
He need to take a step back.
Who Tepper?
Yeah.
Hey, you down there? AB ain't too far. Call AB into the office, man. Just sit down and have a 2-hour conversation with him, man.
Let us rap, man.
Like, special advisor or something.
I know you got the bread, but shit, like maybe
money can't buy everything, AB.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So maybe you just need to take a step back, and maybe the route that you're going, trying to pick the guy that's running your franchise, maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe you're not seeing something. You know what I'm saying? I think we always have to accountability first to ourselves. Instead of just going out there on a limb and just, you got people around you for a reason. Like, you got football people around you.
Yeah.
Football people around you. So, maybe that could be a little situation. Take a step back, man. Because you had the guy.
Take a step back. Man, what? Gonna be restarting again next year with Bryce Young. He'll have a whole new, person calling the shots offensively and as a head coach. So let's hope once again that he has a chance to show who he can be in this football league. But yeah, some breaking news on a Monday, and I expect that won't be the last name we hear these last few weeks. But Frank Reich, second coach. Josh McDaniels was fired. Frank Reich. There's only 2 coaches fired so far this year, right?
Who you said was the first one?
Josh McDaniels.
Oh yeah, Raiders,
Yep. So first 2, we had a couple coordinators let go. Matt Canada, Ken Dorsey, and now this is our second head coach.
Man, you got Del Rio over there, the commander.
Del Rio, defensive coordinator. Shoot, that head coach might be next. But hey, appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. Y'all get your 30 minutes in today. Get that, run some of them calories off. Start your week off right. It's getting cold outside.
That's a fact, man. Get them vitamins too. Get your vitamins.
Oh man.
We gone.
Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man, man to man. Man to man, man to man. Yeah, man, that's in me, that's why I want it so bad. Must be the hustler in me that keep my foot on the gas. When you got it from nothing, then hard times ain't so bad. Just know I'm coming for everything that they said I couldn't have. I put my life inside it, yeah, I kept it solid. Yeah, I played the field, that's how I feel about it. We put numbers on the board, we always up the score. Yeah, we stuck to the plan and never ran. Now they can't see us, man. Yeah, we talking, man to man. They can't guard me, man to man. They don't wanna see us, man to man. They don't know how to beat us, man to man. Man to man, man to man. Man to man, man to man. Man to man, man to man.
Any way we can get it, baby. Any way we can get it.